Hello, I'm Will of Dagames, and this is the third or fourth time I have tried to record this video because my computer's screwing up. We are an animation channel, a music channel, and a music channel, it seems. And Watchmojo, our friends at Watchmojo, decided to make a top 10 list of our songs, like their favorites, at least. And as far as I'm aware, Watchmojo pays attention to what the audience says, although the comments can disagree on that one. But I've seen many people have their own reactions to their own Watchmojos, and it seems very thrilling to be even thought of by Watchmojo. And I remember finding them out through mail. You know, they ended up making an article a while back. I think it was the top 3. Just to even have an article on that was, well, it was beautiful. But this is an actual top 10 list. So I'm excited to see what they put in, and I hope you are too. Bear in mind, your list was gonna vary to this one, so don't go crazy in the comment section. Don't rip into it. Please try not to. Just be level-headed, respectful, and if you can't hold back, I would heavily invest in a punching bag and just put your worst enemies on there. Just boom, 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 boom. Even if it's yourself, you know. We're all our own worst demons. Let's have a go.
Video games and rocking tunes go hand in hand. Welcome to Watchmojo.
It depends on the game, really.
Down our picks for the top 10 DA game songs.
Never even thought I'd ever do something like this. This is very new to me. We do reactions a fair bit, so...
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe
guys,
and ring the
sub to
bell get
Watchmojo,
notified
sub to
about our
Mojo
new
Plays
videos.
even, to get more reactions like this, and sub to Pewds. If you're not doing that, what are you doing? Ooh, parump! You know, I'm kind of scared. Like, they put montage videos in at the beginning, but there's certain stuff in this that I'm a bit scared of seeing. Bear in mind, there's a lot that I wish wouldn't be in, but we'll see. Like, I wonder if this is in at some point. This would be pretty sweet.
Number 10, Atomic Renegade.
Oh, okay, Atomic Renegade at top 10. That's really good. That's
Fallout
special.
4 may have had more than a few things wrong with it, but it's fair to say gamers still had an awesome time hopping back into the wasteland, armed to the teeth and ready to take out every radioactive beast they came across.
Yeah.
This booming song takes full advantage of that, building up slowly before exploding just like a nuclear bomb. And the results are pretty sweet.
That's really nice. God, I remember this song. This was like when we were first doing rock music and everything. Like, oh god, it was crazy. We weren't the greatest at EQ, but I had a long history of doing metal, so one of these ideas ended up coming through and it was nice.
To the special system, the hammering beat of the verses, the thunderous chorus. Honestly, our biggest issue was that we couldn't play this song on our Pip-Boy.
Oh my god. That's insane. No, I like that song. Top 10. I like that. I didn't expect that to be there. Bear in mind, I think there's going to be some songs on this list that I didn't expect to come out. It's going to be Crazy Bumpy Ride, top 10, ladies and gentlemen, 4 out of 4. And the thing is, they call it thunderous, they call it crazy like that. Back then, I wish I'd given it more justice. Back then is at a prime where I was just using FL Studio and I was just learning about all the technology that I was to use today. And this is why I personally think like 2018's music that I've been making, or at least when 2019 comes around and the music actually comes out, I think those will be our favorites because we've expanded. But I did not expect I still didn't expect Fallout 4 to be in the mix. That's crazy.
Number 9, United We Stand.
Oh! 9, United We Stand. This was a very underrated song for ours.
One for its phenomenal multiplayer, DA Games decided to go with a much more somber angle with crafting this particular track.
It was very somber, although I don't think I ever thought about it that way. I thought it was very victorious.
During the harrowing events of World War I, after all, with lyrics that focus on both the bitter patriotism of the soldiers on all sides, as well as the suffering the innocents endured, this song manages to convey both its painful message while also serving as one hell of a war anthem. Best have this blasting when you're charging into battle.
See, I never thought about the story behind it all. Well, I did, and I didn't. I knew Battlefield was a big, crazy war game. It was based on the events of what happened back then. But I never actually thought of both sides. I guess it makes sense though, because I was very vague. A lot of what I do in music is very vague, and enough so you can take this song away from Battlefield and you can put it into something else. But I thought the main base was Battlefield, and I had, you know, all this glorious victory in mind, and, you know, the patriotism in, I guess, one army, but I guess it fits for both. This is why I love making music, because people can make their own vague interpretations of it. So I'm glad about that. I'm really happy to see that something came of that. Awesome.
Number 8, Left Behind.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the FNAF music. If y'all new to this channel, don't go there.
One of the latest and arguably greatest would be this little number, based around the highly successful FNAF spin-off, Sister Location.
I'm gonna tell you why this song is weird for me in a bit. I imagine there's more to say, but...
As catchy as it is haunting, the song delves into the mindset of the Sister Location animatronics as they seek to escape their confinement by any means necessary. Throw in a creepy introduction from Circus Baby and Will's powerhouse final scream, and this song will carve its way into you the same way that Enter did the player character.
Fair enough. I love the FNAF games, but I wouldn't say we're as avid as, you know, sticking to that one franchise and going to a thing. And that's a common misconception a lot of people have, is that they mainly just saw us for FNAF, or they mainly just saw us for Bendy. But that only accounts to about 20% of our YouTube videos. Like, the rest of the 80% is just divulged into so many different categories. And that's always been us. Dagames have always done stuff that's different. But with FNAF, it kind of shot us up. And I could tell you how, and you could probably tell me how, but I have no clue. I just know that picturing this song, I pictured it very, very differently. Because I was actually inspired by, ironically enough, Blue All Rise, and that comes out in an extended preview on the channel. Left behind, this time to I was never one that kind. If you were to rewind, then you would find I was left behind. Yeah, that's where the inspiration came from. So to me, it's funny to see that this is a big iconic thing. But I can also see why, because bless Dylan, he also worked on the new Wolfenstein lyric video that we did, Colossal Carnage. But this was his first interaction with us in terms of collab. He made that entire office. And then we had a bunch of SFM people working on the screenshots. And then we had Keyframe working on some of the pixelation. And then Bogsy at the time did the typography. And that was the first time we had a giant team in a lyric video. So, I mean, I guess that paid off. Plus, I love the jacket that I wore. I still have it. It's a good jacket.
Number 7, Until Dawn.
Oh my god. Until Dawn at 7. That is interesting. That's very interesting.
There's no disputing what inspired this song. Taking everything that made the game such a modern gem, including elements of old-school horror and relentless thrills, Dagames managed to craft a track that's almost lighthearted in comparison to some of the other horror-based
My only problem is how cringy the video is. I look back at this stuff and I didn't...
That being said, thanks to its fast pace, lyrical themes of survival, as well as some slick guitar work, Until Dawn has managed to stand tall over the years as a different kind of musical beast altogether, setting itself apart much like the property it was based on.
Fair. I mean, I get that. The more I look back on it, it was good. I did like it. If not for the lyric video had a terrible justice given to it. And this stems through a lot of different inspirations I have. A lot of metal bands that have influenced me go into this stuff. And when I think of horror games, when I think of suspense games like this, and think of Very Cold Winters, I can't help but think of bands like Killswitch Engage and Breaking Benjamin and, you know, Disturbed. All these great bands that have been in video game culture and sometimes have been a big shinings through video game culture. Like, for instance, Killswitch Engage with Resident Evil. They did End of Heartache. Breaking Benjamin with Blow Me Away in Halo. And, you know, all these big bands doing crazy things. And they've been a massive inspiration to my gaming music archive. So with Until Dawn, that was I think that was our second ever song we did on Dagames that was metal. We'd done metal a long while back, but not under Dagames. As far as metal music, this was the second one, I believe, because the first one was Pathogenocide, then this one. Pathogenocide was an Undertale song. But yeah, I'm very happy to see that this list is going in favor of this. This is so cool.
Number 6, We Go Under.
Okay, so 7 and 6. Until Dawn and We Go Under. I'm gonna tell you why this
Can't talk about the
makes so
Metro
much
series
sense to me
without
soon.
conjuring images of a desolate world, humanity pushed to the edge of existence, and despair running rampant. Luckily, DA Games was able to harness all of this into one of his most powerful songs to date.
Damn, man. Flattery is, don't
While
need
it's
to.
heavy metal through and through, the song never loses the sense of darkness, which is conveyed beautifully both through the lyrics as well as the interjections of Russian dialogue, further adding to the immersion.
Oh.
It may lay on the message of human frailty pretty thick, but there's no doubt you'll be headbanging.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted. But then again, I'm gonna tell you why this makes so much sense. Essentially, We Go Under, to me, was Until Dawn 2.0. You can see why it makes sense because they both sound nearly the same. I had this idea that when I was starting off with a lot of my older songs, I didn't give them enough justice, and I could have done remasters down the line like I did with a few others, but I felt like I wanted to separate that. It was also an educational process for DA Games. We tried to show people that no matter the vibe, no matter the song, it could fit a different game if it wanted to, and it's kind of become an educational process for us. We do original music, mostly, but we wanted to teach that through nerdcore. You could have the same particular style and love it, but have it for a different game too, because that's the thing that the audience loses. They tend to forget, oh, it's just about the game that'll entice me. Forget the game, because if it didn't show anything, Metro Redux's We Go Under is nearly the same as Until Dawn, and considering these are on a populist favorite of ours, I do consider some of these underrated. That's why I like seeing Until Dawn and We Go Under in the same one, and I love both games. Both of the games have such an insane story arc, so kudos to those guys. That's awesome.
Number 5, Another Date.
Hold on. Hold on. 5, Honey Pop, Another Date. Now, hang on. I gotta pause this. What is, okay. I don't understand. I saw this on our, top 3 on the articles. Why? Why is this on the... Why? It's a parody song. It's supposed to be... But, I mean, I guess if people found it serious... I did see a lot of people who genuinely loved it. And it has become a little bit of a meme in our fan base. It's not a meme, like, you know, huge meme. But it's our own little meme. Whenever a new Honey Pop game comes out, or a Honey game comes out, or Huni... If I end up pronouncing all of these wrong, don't jab at me. The song was supposed to be a parody, and when a new game comes out, we keep making one. And I think there's a third game coming out. We're making something for that too, but I want to see what they say about this. See if they're genuinely serious.
Who doesn't love Honey Pop? With its rogue
You'd be
gallery
surprised.
of beautiful ladies, saucy romance scenes, and self-aware sleaziness, the game has become loved by many.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
like.
Not wanting to miss out on the fun, DA Games ended up giving us...
Not wanting to miss out on the fun. I made fun of
They
it.
try to keep up with all of their new waifus.
Waifus. God damn. There was so many singers in this
Both
one as
versions
well.
of this song are equally enjoyable, though if we had to choose, the remastered version steals the show, thanks to
Fair
guest
enough.
vocalist Suzy Liu, whose portrayal of each lady during the climax...
She was very
will have
good
you
in
caught
that.
between laughing and
But
blushing.
there is a misconception with especially the remaster and the old one. I didn't write it's actually the first song in DA Games that I didn't properly write. I mean, I did the composition work and I did the ideas of the beat myself, but we're talking about lyrics here. Chloe just thought of a random idea in her head in terms of lyrics, and she did most of the voices. She did most of the girls, and there's a misconception. We know Chloe's a part of DA Games, so we felt like the credit wasn't needed to be put in there. And that's, I think, where the misconception comes from. People think Suzy Liu is the main person in the Another Date, but actually Chloe took the bait for that. Suzy did an amazing job, though. Like, when she came in, she's a great singer. I reckon you should go check her out. The same with Honey Pop, I guess. The game's good, but don't take it too seriously. We didn't take this too seriously. I think I'm just really... 5. That's actually the one song I disagree with. That needs to go down. I think that needs to be forgotten. But that's just us. That's just us.
Number 4, Heart of an Artist.
Hey! Oh, my baby! Heart of an Artist! Oh, this is...
Now for something a little bit different. While this song wasn't exactly
It's part of Monty Python there. And now for something completely different.
inspired by a particular video game, its subject matter will still strike a chord with both fans and creators alike.
Yeah, okay. I guess. And it did. It did.
Will's powerful vocals resonate alongside with a melody that's as pulse-pounding as it is uplifting. The song's message echoes the notion that people should embrace their creativity, resist those that would see it snuffed out, and continue to push their passions toward greater heights.
Wow. You are the first people that cottoned that
How
on.
this music is just as strong as its morals, this track is one of the purest examples of DA Games' artistic ability.
That's, oh my god, damn! Oh, Heart of an Artist. That was a big one for us. It was our first take in original music on DA Games. Aside from Onyx Colony, my old band, technically that was a remaster. It wasn't really a new song. The very first song that we write for DA Games. And the thing is, with Heart of an Artist, these guys, unlike most people, have cottoned this on. Its message is very, very in your face on this one. A lot of people assumed that this song was based on my experience with people demanding FNAF songs and stuff like that. While it may have been a little crux, that was not the message I was conveying with Heart of an Artist. The message was actually to do with content creators. A lot of content creators have a business head on them. And that's fine, you can have a business head on you. You know, you gotta keep a roof over your head. But some people let it take over to a point where they dismiss any form of passionate integrity from somebody else. They make you feel kind of like your passion means nothing. And they can't help but rub in the face that the audience doesn't care. They don't dictate that. And, you know, you present anything and they'll shut it down. That was what made Heart of an Artist. And, well, I know it didn't speak volumes in terms of what the message was. Some people took the vagueness. And that was the good thing about original music, is we could be very vague about our message but still convey something across of ours that we'd love to get out. And that's been a history with most of our music. Can't say all of it. There's been a few that have been very on the nose. You kind of know what it is. Number 4, Heart of an Artist. That's made me feel really happy. I'm just glad that an original song actually made it on the playlist, because if it was just going to be gaming, I was like, well, of course, as to be expected with DA Games, but then again, game can also mean get your game on. Doesn't have to mean video games. But DA Games has always been super passionate about this kind of project and this kind of speech and everything like that. Everything that we've talked about. Just Heart of an Artist.
Number 3, Build Our Machine.
Hey, well, okay. I did expect, but 3. I expected this to be a bit more
Rising to the pinnacle of popularity, much like Bendy and the Ink Machine, this song managed to blow pretty much everybody away upon release.
True. This is our most popular video, and I don't know why. I spent a whole day on it. It was literally
Embracing the 1930s musical style that the game prides itself on, while also interjecting a splash of DA Games' signature hard rock style, this melting pot leaves us with a song that has both style and substance in spades. Most impressive of all is Will's lyrical precision, as he manages to let loose a rapid-fire yet bouncy vocal performance that will have you chanting along before you know it.
Interesting take on Build Our Machine, especially with the vocals there. It was all done in one take. Not one take, but I mean, like, as I would do a stem of something, I didn't have to re-record it again. It was pretty much on point. I had the idea in my head. I was always just writing notes down. It was one of the very songs that we did that we didn't stop working on. We didn't take breaks with it. Well, I'll say I didn't take breaks with this one. 12 hours of doing a, the song, and 15 hours on the lyric video. And I still don't understand. We've spent longer on certain projects, and they have done worse than this one. And we know that it's down to just because it's Bendy. But there have been so many artists that have spawned because of this. You know, like Build Our Machine has come out, and it's helped so many other content creators pave their way. And it kind of opened the doors for Bendy and the Ink Machine a lot. I have to give credit to the Meatly where it's due. He made a pretty damn cool game. Now, its position at 3. It's not number 1. That actually makes me very happy and makes me more interested to see what is at number 1. I'm very, very curious, because this kind of tells you that this isn't based off of a viewer's poll. This is based off of a hand-picked selection. I don't know what I think we should continue, guys. I think we should continue. What else is there?
The Purple Guy.
No! No. Number 2? Purple Guy? No. No. Down. Down, boy. Down, boy. Why is this at number 2? I don't get it. It's the worst EQ aside from It's Time to Die. It's a horrible EQ. The idea is okay. The lyric video is so cripplingly distorted. Oh, I have so many. And I guess there's a message that I'll talk about in this later, but we'll let you watch on. I don't want to vent too much. I gotta hold back.
The Five Nights at Freddy's series revolutionized the indie horror game scene, inspiring numerous aspiring musicians along the way. As it
Same with
happened,
Bendy, I guess.
some of the best tracks ended up stemming from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Case in point with this classic Dagames hit.
Well, suppose they call it a classic. Back then, I must have been really happy with it. I remember walking around McDonald's on my shifts just listening to this stuff.
Playing out from the perspective of resident villain the Purple Guy, the sense of foreboding brought forth by the lyrics is only matched by a pretty awesome techno beat. Earning itself a remastered version.
I was.
This song has continued to
Remaster
endure as a
is
staple of the
needed.
channel.
That was a
Guess
very
something
big
good
need.
did come from that lackluster third entry.
Purple Guy, why do you have to be at number 2? There are so many other songs that we made that have done better. Like, what about, like, Cuphead, Brothers in Arms? Or even, I'll accept some Undertale stuff. I'll accept an Overwatch song here or there. But, Purple Guy. Wow. That's actually really hurt me. It's not bad. I mean, it's not something I'm gonna daunt on. I mean, you have your favorites. Purple Guy, as they say, is a classic, and it's one of our first Dagames songs, and I guess at least it's not It's Time to Die. And the thing is with the FNAF 3 trilogy, I have a story about that. I was in a very drunk and depressed stage when I was doing those songs. Drunk and depressed was in It's Time to Die. That's why I didn't want it to be on there. It's what holds. Whenever I write music, it's what the message holds to me. And with Purple Guy, it was a very aggressive form of drunk. Like I kind of had enough of being pushed around by my personal life. So I ended up retreating to my mom's one time, and I drank myself silly. Fortunately enough, Chloe on Dagames helped save me, and that was a really nice gesture, which made Not Here All Night. I ended up collabing with her the third FNAF 3 song, and it was more of a I got out of the troubles and there we are. Still didn't like the EQ though, but that's when I made remasters of all these things. I just kind of wish that I'd spent the time to learn FL Studio enough to make these songs a little better. 2 though, I still don't agree. 2. No, I was way down. In fact, off the list entirely. Completely off the list in terms of me, but I guess it was there.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here
I
are
thought
a
this would
few
be number 1.
honorable mentions.
But this is what's interesting me even more. These are in the honorable mentions. I loved the Resident Evil song that we made. It was very much out of our roots, and it was the first time I started experimenting with our guitars, doing a little more electronic stuff with our guitars and a little editing and just the story. I love the game in general, so everything about this is my favorite in terms of honorable mention. Another FNAF song. So, Game Over. That was actually made in a full-fledged studio. One of our university friends, and actually my old drummer from Onyx Colony. Still good friends, by the way. His name is Danny Parkinson. He's a freaking legend. I need to meet up with my friends more often. He helped us get into the studio, and we did this. As far as the lyric video, I'm not happy because, I mean, obviously this was when I was starting out. I didn't really have any of the lyric video people. And okay, this is my favorite song to perform live. Not gonna lie. This is my favorite ever song to perform live. Just simply because, like, I think the animation works and it's just comedic. It's not serious, but it's serious as well. The Hello Neighbor song stood out amongst other Hello Neighbor songs in a sense that it wasn't so dark. A lot of people going for the horror side of it, and I'm not gonna lie, if Hello Neighbor tried to be horror, it did a horrible job. I don't know, I just saw Buzz Lightyear's chin in Hello Neighbor, in the neighbor himself. I just saw Buzz Lightyear's chin and I saw it was funny. But yeah, basically I ended up coming to the conclusion that this was one of my favorites because of its comedic sense and just because it's such a crowd pleaser. Performing live, I love doing this. It's a very fun thing to do and just hearing everybody chant back is great. So what's number one?
Number 1, Take My Breath Away.
Oh my god! Okay. No, that's taking me back. Oh my god, number 1. Breath of the Wild, Take My Breath Away. I am so pleased that this made it to number 1. You could all disagree with me on the side here. You could all very much disagree with me, but this had a lot of heart put into this. And it really made something for the Switch. Breath of the Wild was amazing. And so many people played it, and I avidly played it continuously when it first came out. This thing was a huge moment for us in making new things. It was fantastic, and this is when we had our new lyric video person, Oblivion Fall. We ended up taking him on, and we did some amazing stuff like this. Wow.
The musical arrangement for the song, much like Breath of the Wild, is nothing short of staggering in its scope and execution.
Wow.
Something of an epic ballad layered with the hard-rocking sound we've come to expect from Will. What allows this song to transcend all others is how perfectly it captures the sense of heroism, urgency, and adventure found within the Legend of Zelda series.
I'm so glad that came across. I am so glad. That's insane. Oh, the Guardians thing was the most interesting part of the video for me.
As well as Chloe Eves, who pulls off a pretty convincing
Caleb
Zelda.
Hiles, Chloe
Every
Eves,
component of this song comes
amazing
together so
artists.
spectacularly that it's more than
Fantastic
worthy of
vocal
serving
work
as the
in this.
hero of-
Oh, the key change. I'm a sucker for key changes in songs. So, number one. Take My Breath Away. Just going on the number 1. Breath of the Wild, Take My Breath Away. Like, I still have so much to say about that one. It was a very big song for us. It might not have been our most popular, but it was the first time that me and Caleb Hiles collabed together. And that in itself, we ended up performing at our first convention that we performed together at, and it was beautiful. It was a marking that some things were going to change down the line. It definitely made things feel a lot more wholesome. And the game was amazing, and I'm sure a lot of people agree that the game is just phenomenal. I just have so much to say about Breath of the Wild. It's one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games of all time, aside from now Smash Brothers, but Jesus Christ, number 1. I'm really happy about that. Still not happy with Purple Guy being at number, was it 2? Or is it number 3? No, 3 was Build Our Machine. That should have been above Purple Guy. And Purple Guy should have just been out there, away from the whole universe. And Honey Pop, I think should have been lower down, maybe in a part of the list. I have no idea what they think about this stuff. But yeah, that was the top 10 Watchmojo. That is a brief look at some of our more favored music. Not mine, but a lot of people's music. If you're interested by any of this, if you do like what you saw here, click like and subscribe, share with friends or family, maybe your dog. Check out Dagames Official and Watchmojo on Twitter for the newest information on maybe late playlists from Watchmojo or music and animations, let's plays, and live streams on our channel. I'm Will of Dagames, and we did a Watchmojo reaction. Fair to say that I have a few disagreements, but I am very happy with this, and I'm so honored to be a part of this. Thank you so much, Watchmojo, for even considering us as part of your lists, and we hope to do more collaborations in the future. We want to keep the connection going. Thank you, guys. You're all amazing, and we'll see you very soon.